Alright, I've had this idea for a while. I consider myself to kind of be an authority on Super Mario 64 opinion. Like, this was the game I played when I was a kid. Like, this is the #1 game I played above, like, Mario 1, like, Mario World, Mario Paint, anything, really. Like, spent hours on this game. And granted, not most of them were spent in, like, the later levels, like the boss levels or anything. But I think my opinions are pretty awesome, and that's definitely not a biased standpoint. I also have the game right here, so I can hop in and add context to opinion. None of this is scripted, so it's probably going to be very and y, but I'm going to cut out most of that. First off, Big Bob-omb on the Big Bob-omb on the summit. This one's okay. I think like A tier. It's good for like your first ever 3D game. I'm sure that's what everybody says, because you know you gotta run around the Bob-omb, King Bob-omb teaches you how to use the joystick. It's not like super good. It's not like very fun to play, and it's not very like complex or challenging. I might put it in B tier because of that, actually. We'll see. This one might change. This one, I actually really like this one. Foot Race with Koopa the Quick. This one has like, you can really style on this one. Maybe I should hop into this immediately. Alright, so you can obviously just run along this path like a normal person. Race in the normal way. But the great thing about this star is you can, there's like a ton, it's very open. One of my favorite things to do is like, you know, run up this way. And then you can take this path here. This is all legal, by the way. The game doesn't stop you from doing any of this. Oh, jeez. How embarrassing. No. My kingdom, it's crumbling. What is happening? My game is broken. I might just cut to that. But anyway, yeah, you can like approach this challenge any way you want to. Really good replay value. One of my favorite spots is right here. You wouldn't think normally to do this, but jeez, this is embarrassing. I swear there's some sort of controller delay. But you can like get up here. There's like plenty of ways you can play this star, and you don't have to just do it the normal way. Roundabout way of saying it, but yeah, this one might even be S tier. It's like really, even in like modern perspectives, this one holds up because of just the sheer amount of creativity. Shoot to the island in the sky. I actually, even as a kid, I didn't really like this one, because it's not really that fun to line up a cannon shot to land on the island. You end up running all over the place. It's not very fun. It's not very, like, mechanically interesting. I mean, I guess it kind of is. It's like first-person camera. You get to move it around, but I don't like this one. Not even going to show you why. I just don't like this one. I actually kind of like this one. I find 8 red coins. A lot of people really hate the 100 coin stars, and once we get to one of those, I'll explain more why. But I think this one's the perfect amount. 8 red coins forces you to explore the level, but you don't have to do it in any certain order. And you can do little side things along the way. You don't have to, like, you know, it's very open gameplay. Like I said with Foot Race with Koopa the Quick. Holds up well in modern standpoints, and it's still, like, fun in general. This one's terrible. Mario Wings to the Sky, just bad. I don't like this one. It's really bad. Let me see if I have the wing cap unlocked on this save, so I can show you why it's so bad. I don't have caps unlocked. Okay, well... Oh. Huh. How do I... There we go. Okay, let me unlock this cannon. This is quickly turning into... This recording's gonna be very long. Okay. See if I can show you what I mean here. So these rings, they just don't load. Like, you can't actually see them from a distance, and I know that's like a limitation thing, But they could have like at least, you know, had more of these permanent coins in the center. But you just can't see them all. So you shoot for this one in the center, and you hold up, but then you go too far and you miss the first one and then the second one, so you turn around to try and reach them, but then you like fly too far and you're like super sluggish and slow and you go too fast. It's really difficult, like even more difficult than the manta ray swimming one that everyone complains about all the time. Like this one is actually worse than that, and I don't know why no one ever talks about this, but this like genuinely sucks in my opinion. Like actually kind of bad star. Anyway, I spent a lot of time for that. Next, this one, B tier. Not complex, not terrible. There's like a fun glitch you can do with the bombs to clip through the gate. I know that's not like intended, but neither was all of those skips on Koopa the Quick. It's a star that holds up today because of that glitch. It's like a test of skill, you know? All the fun things you can do in this game, like not all of them have to be legal. But anyway, I should just move on. Okay, 100 coin stars. I consider 100 coin stars to be a completionist challenge. They're never like displayed on the star collection screen as a empty star that you didn't collect. They're only displayed once you collect them. So like you're not being shamed for not collecting the stars, you just get bonus points for actually collecting them. And that's why I think they don't deserve as much frustration as people give them. Because they're not like, it's not part of the game you're expected to do. It's like collecting all the Skulltulas in Ocarina of Time. You can complete the entire game without touching a Skulltula. Or you could like hunt every single one down, look through all the cheat guidebooks that you can buy. I don't think 100 coin stars should be perceived as a required game mechanic, so I'm not going to rate them as low as you would expect. Bob-omb Battlefield, I know I already said I'm not going to rate them that far, but in terms of 100 coin stars, Bob-omb Battlefield is pretty frustrating. Mainly because of shooting to the island in the sky. So many of the coins you need to collect are up there, and that basically means you need the wing cap and cannons unlocked, so you can't like touch it until you unlock Winged Mario stage. I will rate other 100 coin stars higher, just as a warning, because I know people won't necessarily agree with me, but that's my opinion. Anyway, chip off Whomp's block. This one's B tier. This one's pretty good. It's got some fun glitchy things you can do with ground pounding through him. It's an interesting mechanical thing too. It's like the ground pound isn't used very frequently in Mario games. This I think is a fantastic use of it. I do think it could have been more challenging, but you know, this is a really old game. People's when they were playing this, they had no idea what joysticks were, how to use them. It holds up decently today. It's not as bad as, you know, shoot to the island in the sky. This one is pretty good. Top of the fortress. There's like a lot of fun obstacles in this level. I think like the rotating platform. Let me load up this one. So, like I said, there's a lot of interesting obstacles in this level. You can just circumvent these guys if you want. Like you can jump up here. It's not even that hard. Like as a kid, I always backflipped up here instead of dealing with any of that stuff. But, you know, that's options for creativity. And these guys are an interesting obstacle, if a little bit not really difficult at all. Like they're really slow, and you can stand on top of them. They're not really a threat at all. You never see stuff like this. Like I think there's some in TikTok Clock. But I like these a lot. These are interesting obstacles right here. Still difficult nowadays because you kind of can't trust those if you're running through really quick. Swamps are kind of a non-existent threat, but still, it's nice to see them come back from older Mario games. Piranha plants, they're in here too. They're kind of weird. Modern people playing this game won't notice this because we're all so focused on running at max speed anyways. Don't lie to me, you hold shift in Minecraft 100% of the time. But you like press super lightly on the joystick. It's actually taking advantage of the full range of motion. And then you punch them. So that's cool. I'm probably wasting a lot of time just on this stage, but this stage is pretty sick. Like, look at that. How many times do you see that in Mario 64? This one is my favorite obstacle on this entire course. I'm not really sure why. It's just a neat little thing. I think that pretty much encapsulates my entire opinion, that there's just a lot of really interesting, dynamic, moving things, a lot of room for creativity in finishing the stage. Replay value is still pretty high. So yeah, this one's high on the tier list. Great star. Shoot into the wild blue. This one's okay. There's, you know, options for creativity. You can jump down to this, you can side flip off the wall. The cannon is kind of I'm not really a fan of the cannon in this game when not paired with a wing cap, because you can never really tell where Mario's gonna land. You end up just shooting yourself off into the distance like a million times and running back to it. I'm sure that was a lot more fun in like the regular, like when this first came out, because, you know, navigating Mario around the stage was already like half the fun of the game in the first place. I just don't think it aged very well. I might even put it in C toys here. No, B tier. Okay, this is definitely out of order. Red coins on the floating aisle. I think this might be, let me load it up. Oh, okay, never mind. This one's still, Womp's Fortress. This one is a little bit difficult. I like those a bit more because, you know, over the years I've become a lot more skilled at this one. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to get up here, but I would always jump on this thwomp, and then I'm great at this game. What I would do is I would always jump on this guy, back, I swear I used to jump on that guy and jump up, but it's just not working for me. Unintended but interesting movement. Mario 64's movement is just fantastic. I'm pretty sure you could put this movement engine in any game, and it would just be immediately fun. It's not very complex. I mean, you've got this part. How's anyone supposed to know that you punch this? I guess as a kid I figured this out pretty intuitively. But yeah, it's interesting. It's not like my favorite star in terms of like funness. Difficulty's pretty high, because these platforms are spaced weirdly, especially the arrow right here. Right, rating. We need to rate this star. A tier. This one's a great star. I like red coin stars. This one, it's finicky, but it's not terrible, and it's an interesting concept. I'm gonna put it above Chip Off Womp's block. Let's go ahead and see if I can. So what you would do is you would hop into this tree here. I think there's a hint somewhere about that. In an owl hop. Yeah, there he is. And it's like kind of hard to tell where you're gonna drop. This game's camera is notoriously bad anyways. Controls are weird. And then you would land in the star cage. This one has a lot of potential for cool movement stuff, like in speedruns. What people do is, let's see if I can get this first try. No, I suck. But what they would do is triple jump off of that. That's pretty fun. You know, a lot of well, not that much creativity. Definitely challenging. I might even put it, yeah. This one might go down a rank. No. It's just going bottom. Okay. Let's focus. Let's keep moving. There's still like a whole lot of stars left. This one, it's not very interesting or challenging. It's another canon one, which I'm not a fan of, and it's cryptic. I don't think it doesn't allow for much creativity. It aged poorly, and for the time, I'm not sure how anyone was supposed to figure this out. Maybe there's a sign somewhere. As a kid, I couldn't read though, so I couldn't take those hints. So just cryptic and confusing. Yeah, I don't really like the star very much. Sue me. What are you gonna do about it? 100 coins. This one's, again, I actually really like 100 coin stars when the stage is interesting to traverse. Again, this stage has a lot of really cool obstacles and like different areas to it, and a lot of neat shortcuts that you can get to with like unintended movement stuff. I like this one. Good star. Plunder the sunken ship. This one, it's not very complex, but I really like it. It's like a very interesting narrative sort of thing. Yeah. So you would like sink the ship, I don't remember how. And then you get to swim underwater. No, okay. So first the water's the ship is underwater. And it's like, I don't know, it's just a fun place to explore. I know a lot of people don't really like the swimming mechanics in any of the Mario games, but I always had a great time just relaxing and swimming around down here. One of my favorite stages, just as a vibe. But I'm a fan of pirates, and I like the concept of going underwater and exploring a shipwreck. It's like an adventure sort of thing. It's not like complex in terms of like mechanically accomplishing it. It probably did take a lot of effort to implement, but I think it's a very interesting star, just in general. So it's going high B tier. Can the eel come out to play? This one, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I'm putting it under Chip Off Womp's block, because it's got the same sort of mechanical complexity. Like, not of actually, like, it's not like complex, like owlless, like getting to this cage without owls. It takes thought, and it's like, I don't know. I don't like eels. I don't like them. Not a fan of eels. Ooh, this one's fantastic. This one, immediate A tier. Maybe even S tier. Like, again, the vibe of this level is just fantastic. Like, you swim deep underwater, you find an underwater cave. Like, that's what everybody wants to do in real life, right? I'm not alone in this. You want to, like, discover ancient treasure in a subterranean cave, right? Everybody wants that. Oh yeah, and these are interesting obstacles. I mean, not very difficult to avoid, but definitely add to, like, the vibe of running around a shaky cave. Yeah, and then you get to, like, do this little puzzle where you open up these chests. Is this a hint? Arr, ahoy, mate. I swear, I've never read this before. I have sunken treasure here, I do. But to pluck the plunder, you must open the treasure chests in the right order. What order is that, ye say? I'll never tell. I don't think I've ever read that. Man, I gotta do another video where I just go through this game and read every sign. That's another great video idea. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Fantastic star. Really like this one. Lots of adventure. Not much complexity or difficulty, but just, it's a vibe. I'm gonna put it high. It's my tier list. What are you gonna do about it? This one, I don't hate it, but it's not very interesting. It's above Can the Eel Come Out to Play. B tier is gonna get very obese. I might have to start moving these around. They're not, like, thrilling. Man, I just said this is one of my favorite games, but yeah, not all the stars are the best. I guess that's fair to admit. This game's ancient. Anyway, this one, high B tier. Not, again, canon, I'm not a fan of it, but you get plenty of tries. I'm putting this in C tier, actually. Above Blast of the Way, the wall. Because at least this one's pretty clear in what you're supposed to do. There are still so many stars left. Through the Jet Stream. Metal Cap Fun. Metal Cap Fun. High B tier. 100 Coins, Jolly Roger Bay. This one, high C tier. Not one of the best 100 coin stars, but not, like, annoyingly difficult, like 100 Coins Bob-omb Battlefield. In fact, low B tier. Ooh, I love the winter courses, whatever you call them. I just really like them. Again, they're a big vibe. Slip Sliding Away. This one, it's been a while since I've done this one. Isn't this one where you just go down? No, this one you race penguin. Sorry, I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. But yeah, this one's A tier. I love the slide courses. Very fun. Difficult, but fun. This one's interesting. It's got a story. It's got, like, adventure with it. Red herring. A tier. Under Slip Sliding Away, though. Above 8 red coins, Bob-omb Battlefield. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I like that ranking. Big Penguin Race. Good. It's fantastic. Another slide level. I love slide levels. Maybe I should put these in S tier because I really like slide levels. I like them a lot. It's, like, more difficult, but you've already had time to practice. So, yeah. Great star. Frosty Slide for 8 red coins. I feel like... Oh, okay. So this one's just... Yeah. Maybe I like this level so much because it basically is one giant slide. But 8 red coins, not bad. This one... I'm not sure where I'm gonna rate this. Maybe I should rearrange things first. These should be high C tier, I think. Let me think about this. Yeah, this one just didn't age very well. It's not like crazy fun. It's actually kind of fiddly. Yeah, it deserves C tier. Anyway, 8 red coins. You know what? Pretty good actually. Low A tier. There's a lot of difficult spots you have to reach, but difficult equals fun because this game's movement is just phenomenal. Just jumping around, sliding around this course. Fun star. This one's inconsistent. You're not even racing the head. This would be so much more fun if it was just Koopa the Quick rules. But like, I watched the Pan and Koic video, or wait, no, K's video. I watched that video about how to actually complete this. And it probably wouldn't be so bad if it like followed the rules, but even if it did, it'd be kind of boring. D tier. Not a fan. This one's actually kind of cool. It's like a secret level. Well, sort of secret. It's an interesting part of the stage that you don't really explore very much, and honestly, every time I go to get this star, I kind of just jump off the side of the stage. But that's some creativity, that's some interesting novelty to completing the star. I put a lot of value into that. Like, the more interesting ways you have to get a star, the more fun it is, just in general. Above Little Penguin Lost, or would I? I think I'm too tired for making this. I'm gonna put low A tier. I've been putting a lot in low A tier, but it's pretty good. Above 8 red coins. I might be rating this mostly on just vibe alone, but you know. 100 coins, not terrible, not great. High C tier. Go on a ghost hunt. Pretty good. It forces you to explore the level. Interesting level to explore, a lot of interesting rooms. Camera's kind of jank, but I mean, it's indoors. It's kind of gonna be jank. High C tier. This one's actually kind of cool. I know it's not actually very fun or interesting, but I think it's a neat idea to go on a spinny and attack ghost. I don't know. Funny sound, vibe. High C tier. Secret of the Haunted Books. It's got that adventure to it, but this one's always been kind of cryptic. Where should I rate this? Maybe I should move some more stuff to D tier. I just keep rearranging lists. This is my first ever tier list, so don't hate me. Secret of the Haunted Books, right. We were thinking about this. It's interesting. It's like an interesting story and a vibe. An interesting idea. Not as interesting as exploring like an ancient shipwreck or anything. Like, yeah, here. I'm gonna put it low B tier. Seek the 8 red coins. 8 red coins, it's a bit janky in this level. Kind of awkward to navigate this. But it does have a lot of interesting areas. So I'm gonna put it in high B tier. Why did I put Through the Jet Stream so high? This goes here. Yeah, that works. I like it. Okay. Big Boo's Balcony. This one's kind of basic, but it's kind of like on the same level as Chip Off Thwomp's Block in terms of, you know, gameplay complexity. Like, you know, you actually have to fight some dude, and it's interesting. Boss fight. This one, it's cryptic again. It's not a very interesting story. I mean, maybe as a horror kind of concept. Oh, big eyeball, spooky. I just don't think it's that interesting. I'm gonna put this in D tier. People are probably gonna not like that. This is probably someone's favorite level, putting it in D tier, but I just don't like it that much. It's like not even an interesting use of the Vanish Cap. 100 coins Big Boo's Haunt isn't so bad, but it's a bit annoying. Below Ba-Bomb Battlefield for sure. This one is really cool. Cool vibe, cool concept. They implemented an entire different enemy for this. It's A tier. Elevate for 8 red coins. This one's actually kind of difficult. I guess you could argue it's janky, but it's not janky if you approach it from like the way it's intended to be. Modern day people would probably hate this for how clunky it is, but I think it's A tier. A tier. You gonna fight me? It's my tier list. A tier. This one's kind of boring. It's not very interesting. I mean, you can kind of cheese it with a wall kick. Maybe I should show you that. Yeah, sure. Let's show. I suck. Oh no. This isn't the right way. Ow. Okay, I think we're getting close. Okay, so like I said, I value interesting gimmicks. This is one of them, where you, so what you can do is, just jump, kick this wall here, hold back, and then you press the button on your way back. If I could get it, dang it. I swear I can get this, hang on. There we go. See, that's kind of interesting, very satisfying technique to pull off, but again, it's very not interesting. Where would you normally get the metal cap for this? Maybe that's the interesting part. Frame walk? Let's see. No, please. Never mind. Okay. Focus. Oh, yeah, you just go over to this. Yeah, it's kind of boring. It'd be kind of cooler if there were, like, some underwater enemies you could punch or something with the metal cap. But you kind of just follow this pathway and slowly walk over to it. I'm not a fan of this. It's not, like, very interesting in terms of story. Even complexity is kind of very basic. Not a fan of it. Not a fan. It's probably high D tier. Sorry, Hazy Maze Cave fans. D tier. This is my final judgment. It is fact. This one's kind of cool. You get to, like, quickly explore a maze. It could be cooler if the maze was a bit bigger, but that'd make it kind of difficult and stressful. It's an interesting concept that's done kind of weakly, so I'm going to put it high C tier. Amazing emergency exit. I don't remember this one. Let me Wikipedia this. Oh, there's still so many left. Okay, so this is the one with the door that's kind of in the top half of the wall. It's actually kind of interesting how you get to hang over the the bars when you collect this star, like you swing on the bars. That's not a very frequently, well, actually, it's kind of a frequently used mechanic, but it's like kind of treacherous. Not actually difficult, but I think vibes matter more than difficulty in some cases. And plus the name is a pun, so that's just comedy gold right there. I think I'm putting it in A tier. Or am I? Low A tier, so I don't feel guilty. Watch for Rolling Rocks isn't a difficult star, but it is cryptic. How do you, like, know to look upwards? C tier. 100 coins. I'm not a fan of this one. This stage is just far too big for you to be forced to explore the entire thing. I think I'm going to put it high D tier, although it probably deserves better. We're making progress. I need to start being more ruthless. Boyle the Big Bully. This is actually, I like fighting these guys. They're kind of a fun little battle, and there's a lot of interesting ways, like you can ground pound into them, or you can, like, let me get into the game and show you. So there's a lot of interesting ways you can fight these bullies. Like, you could just punch them like the game intends you to, but you could also, like, ground pound them like that, or you can just jump and fall into them. That's another interesting way to take care of them. And another cool thing about these guys, when you push them, they are pushed in the direction you're facing, even if it doesn't make sense. Like, I can push this guy off like this, and that's kind of crazy and cool. That's like some mechanical complexity. It probably wasn't intended, but it does make this star a lot more interesting, give you a lot of more cool options to style on these guys. I like this star. It's going like A tier. This one's also going A tier, because if the other one is, this one's basically the same star. This one, not very complex, but it is kind of satisfying. Let me show you what I mean. If you haven't played this game, I'm sure you've seen this before. So over here, it's not very difficult, but it's kind of cool. It's like a bit weird. Oh jeez. And it's not even like that difficult. You just kind of stay away from the hole. But it's kind of neat. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. Not too thrilled. But then again, I don't hate it. C tier. This one's kind of cool. You get to explore a lot of the stage. It's pretty difficult and challenging. There's not a lot of different paths you can take, but it's kind of like a fun little obstacle course. I'm going to put it high A tier. It's pretty good. This one is pretty good for the same reasons. I'm going to just put it right next to it again, because basically just a really interesting obstacle course. This one does have some interesting stuff you can do, like jumping on top of the things that slam out of the wall. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. Let's see if I can do some gamer stuff right here. Ooh, how many times have you seen that done? Oh, how many times have you seen that done? It's mostly just an obstacle course that you jump through, but there is some interesting ways to deal with some of the obstacles. Like this one, you can kind of jump on top of that right there. It's kind of neat. It's not necessary at all, but it's a neat little thing you can, like, you know, trick off of, kind of like Tony Hawk, you know, pro skater. Yeah, obstacle course, big fun, because big movement in this game. Anyway, I might put this in A tier again. This level's a very A tier area. Difficult, but fun. 100 coin star is kind of garbage. It is difficult and interesting because of that. I'll put it in B tier. In the Talons of the Big Bird. This one's kind of interesting. It's a fun little obstacle course to get to it, and there is a lot of different ways to get there. So, like, you know, creativity, replayability, and it's kind of an interesting story, but I don't vibe too much with it like I do the Plunder the Ancient Ship and stuff. Man, I'm too tired to have an opinion right now. Oh, and there's still so many left. Is it worse than Ba-Bomb? Better than that. A tier. Okay. A tier. We're putting a lot in A tier. I love the pyramid stars. Again, it's just kind of an obstacle course, but it's a cool vibe. Like, you get to explore an ancient temple and, like, have some fun doing it. A lot of different ways to get to the places you need to be. These are going S tier. Just because of the vibe alone. S tier. Fantastic. I guess there is some people who don't understand this one, like, why isn't it working? But I've never had any difficulty with this one. And it is kind of interesting to get to all these pillars, a lot of creative ways to do it. But it's not very interesting. High C tier. 8 red coins. This one's kind of jank. I don't know if I like this one very much. Low C tier. It doesn't deserve D tier, but it's not good enough for high C tier. Pyramid puzzle. This one is kind of cryptic again, but it is a cool temple, and it does have you explore a lot of interesting areas of this cool temple. I'm gonna put this B tier. People probably won't agree with this one, but I just really like this level. It's like really good level. And as a kid, I found these secrets just fine. Just like having fun jumping around all over the place. B tier. It's B tier. 100 coins. I'm realizing I'm not the biggest fan of 100 coins either. Kind of going against my thing I said at the beginning, because I'm ranking these so low. And the temple doesn't really help, because you still have to get a bunch of these coins outside of the temple, and most of them are just at the very top. I think I'm gonna put this D tier. I know I said I wouldn't rate these so low, but it's not a very fun star. I feel like these ones have a lot more fun exploring the temple than you ever would just collecting coins. They're just not placed in very interesting locations. Board Bowser's sub. This one's not interesting at all, I'll be honest with you. It is kind of weird to get onto the sub, like in a tricky way that's kind of weird, interesting. But you kind of just go to a place and collect a star. You don't really even avoid any obstacles. I mean, you do press the cork box switch, But that's not really interesting. There's plenty of even more interesting stages where you do that. I don't know, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Low D tier. It doesn't deserve E tier. I don't think any of the stars deserve E or F tier in this game. Chests in the current. This one's really janky, but it's a vibe still. This one, I don't hate this one. I don't hate it. High C tier. It's not like boring like this one. It's only in C tier because of the jank. This one's interesting. It's not my favorite star, but it does have poles, and you don't really see these very often in this game. It doesn't do very interesting things with the poles. You kind of just jump from one to the other. Low B tier. Don't hate it. Don't love it. Through the Jet Stream is another one of those just go to a place stars with a certain item. These metal cap stars would be a lot more fun if there was some sort of dangerous fish you had to be invincible for. I'm going to put it in the same place as the last one, but that means I have to find it. There it is. Oh, I'm blind. Okay. Holy crap. This one is janky, but I do think it's a really interesting idea. If it worked better, it would probably be A tier. But just because of how jank it is, I'm going to have to put it in B tier. This one's kind of cool. It, you combine caps. That's kind of a cool concept. Like, once you figure out, you're like, oh, you can have 2 effects at once? That's crazy, you know? I'm going to put it in low A tier. Because it's not, like, replayable or incredibly interesting. But it is a neat concept. Like, plunder the fish. Plunder the fish? Plunder the ship. Blah, 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 blah. Almost through. 100 coins Dire Dogs. This one is kind of annoying because you got to go through 2 different areas, and a lot of the coins are up on top of the sub. I think. Let me go here and make sure I have the right stage in mind. Oh, and there's this great thing with all the lag. Yeah, this game is not very well optimized. Even as a kid, I remember thinking that was kind of weird. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking of the right stage. This one, it gets harder, I think, if you have the sub gone. You know what, I don't hate it as much as I thought I did. But it is kind of awkward how you can only access it at certain times. I guess that's how most of the stars in this game work, though. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't be so hostile. High B tier. What the heck? Jump on pole fun. This one's actually really cool. I really like this one. You get to like climb a tall mountain and stuff, and there's like the guy blowing the penguin. That sounds bad. The snowman's blowing air and the penguin blocks it. It's kind of annoying because you don't know when the penguin's going to move and there's ice all over the place. But in general, I think it's like a really interesting challenge. Really cool. S tier, S tier. I like it. I like it a lot. This one's going in the same spot as the bullies because it's basically the same star all over again. It is a bit easier to get here, but it's the same star. It will go under these 2 though because it's more interesting to get to the bullies in these 2 stages. But there's still some cool spots in this level. Maybe I'll do a video where I just explore all the cool spots in Super Mario 64. In the Deep Freeze, I actually really like this one. It's not, again, it's a very simple solution once you figure it out, but it's like a cool, like, whoa, you can, I couldn't see that, but you could like jump up here, and it's cool. It's a cool vibe. It's a cool vibe, that's what I'm gonna say. That's my excuse. It goes in the same place as Collect the Caps. We're almost done. Whirl from the Freezing Pond. This one's kind of basic. It is kind of hard to find, but I don't think this one's very interesting. It's going in D tier. This one's fun. Any riding shell section, fun, immediately. Going in A tier. This one's kind of cool. It's a cool concept to go into an igloo that's bigger on the inside. Not very replayable or like have any fun glitches or interesting ways to approach the challenge. But I think this goes in the same place as Plunder the Ship. It's a cool vibe. Yeah, I like it. Cool vibe. I keep saying that, but that's just how it is. This one's just as bad as Dire Dog 100 coins. Because there's like different areas you have to go to, and it's like kind of a pain. Oh, okay. I love this stage. The negative emotional aura in this stage. No. I just think this stage is a very, like, it's basically 100% obstacles, and like jungle gym that you get to jump around. Let me see if I can find it and show you what I mean. So like, it's just a very good stage. There's like a lot of interest in like these scuttlebugs. They ride on top of the water. Or are they scuttlebugs? But yeah, they ride on top of the water, so they're always part of the stage. That's kind of an interesting concept. There's all these cool block formations you can climb. There's this little guy to make sure you're paying attention so you don't get zapped. You hit all these neat switches, which like changes the water level, and like you get to jump to higher parts of the stage and stuff. It's like an interesting progression. I mean, it does kind of make everything under the stage inaccessible, but it moves just like so many moving parts to the stage. It really is just a really cool jungle gym to explore. High A tier. High A tier. Oh wait, I'm just ranking the entire stage. Shocking arrow lifts. This one's weird. It's gonna go high B tier instead. It's just weird. Like, you can raise the water level to make it easy, or you can bother going on the arrow lifts, which I think this is the only stage they appear in. You know what? Low A tier instead. Just kind of weird. I'm getting so tired that I'm barely explaining these anymore. Top of the town. So let me Google this to make sure I'm getting this right. Okay, this one's A tier just because of the stage, and this star is all about exploring the stage. A tier. Secrets in the Shallows and Sky. This one's actually not as hard as you think it would be. Like, I found this one pretty easy as a kid, because most of the secrets are just around blocks that you push. I mean, it is cryptic, but you'll find it if you just explore this area enough. Again, this one probably aged really poorly, because modern players only want to get the stars, you know. They don't just jump around the course for 30 minutes accomplishing nothing. Our standards have been raised quite far. This one's cool. I like this one a lot. It plays with the concept of the water. I think this is only possible if the water is lowered. I don't know. It's got a lot of moving parts. It's kind of like a puzzle, but a very simple puzzle. It's not as good as the rest of the stage, because you basically only ever interact with the elevator, and maybe some water switches if you need to break the block first. High B tier. I love this. S tier. Instant S tier. There's a secret city you get to explore. Like, abandoned society underwater, like Atlantis. Really cool. I don't care about your negative emotional aura. This goes S tier instantly. This one, again, pretty good. I'm going to put this in S tier too. I like this one a lot. You get to use this one's actually a really good use of the vanish cap, because like the walls you could run through, and you run through the cage. It's like, the vanish cap is kind of like, you can't really phase through all of the walls in the game, so it's like, why vanish then, if I can only run through specific walls at specific places? But this one has like an entire wall that you could just run around, but you get to go through it. It's made so you could do that. And I think a lot of the vanish cap stars would be a lot better if you could just run through more things, you know? Anyways, 100 coins, wet dry world. This one's actually pretty good. A tier. Well, low A tier. And not much more to say. We're almost done. Okay. Scale the mountain. I'm starting to feel a bit burnt out, but I'm going to push through this. How do I feel about this one? This one's kind of cool. It's kind of like reverse. Oh no, I'm too tired to remember the names of any of this. Cool Cool Mountain. It's like reverse Cool Cool Mountain, because instead of going to the bottom and like looping around in certain sections, you climb up to the top and go around certain sections. In general, as a stage, it's pretty interesting. It's very complex. It's got a lot of difficulty to it. Some interesting enemies. I think this is one of the very few stages the Blowy Joeys are in. I think the only other one is Winged Mario over the rainbow or something. Not bad. A lot of classic running around Mario jump. He'd do a jump. Not very notable. I feel like this would have been a pretty okay replacement as a first stage instead of Bob-on Battlefield. In fact, this would probably be stage 1 if this game was released, like, today. Funny Mario Man jumped. He'd do a jump. A tier. Monkey Cage. I don't like monkeys, though. They steal my hat. It's been a long time since... Let's just skip this one. This one's pretty cool. Very difficult. There's a definite challenge, and if you're speedrunning, there's a lot of replayability because you move really fast, and it's interesting. You can take different routes depending on your skill level. It's just a very good skill test. A tier. Mysterious Mountainside. This one's another slide stage, and slide stages are fantastic, so let me put this one with the rest. Okay. Breathtaking View from Bridge. It looks difficult, not very replayable. In terms of story, I guess it's okay. C tier. C tier. I could probably remember these if you had a gun pointed to my head, but it's a lot of effort to go through. Oh, it's the one where you jump behind the waterfall. This one's a bit jank, but it's kind of cool. Explore behind a waterfall. That's very overdone in modern day games. Like if you see a waterfall, there's 100% a cave behind it, no questions asked. So it's like not that interesting, I guess. But high B tier. No, low B tier. This one has a lot of there's a lot of interesting ways to get to the star. I think I'm just gonna put it in the same spot as Blast to the Poles. What's it called? Okay, Blast to the Stone Pillar. Yeah, that's a fitting place. 100 coins Tall Mountain. This one's actually pretty good because you can get around the stage pretty easy. There's a lot of interesting spots to go to, so high B tier. Okay, Tiny Huge Island, another fantastic course. Pluck the Piranha Plower is kind of basic, so it goes in C tier. Tip Top of the Huge Island, I'm gonna put this in B tier. I don't know why. It's just getting to that point of the tier list where the general quality of decisions made is declining. Rematch with Koopa the Quick. A tier. I like Koopa the Quick races. If this game was all races and slides, it'd be a really good game. I don't like this one. The secrets are in weird spots. Actually, no, wait. I'm thinking of the wrong one. This one's actually pretty good, because all the spots you would check are where the secrets are, you know? They're pretty much exactly where you'd expect them to be. Well chosen spots for secrets. This one is a bit weird. I don't hate it, but it's a very short star in comparison to other 8 red coin stars, and you don't explore most of the course. But it is an interesting little obstacle course. I think I'm going to put it in C tier. Another boss fight. I'm just going to put this with the rest, because boss fights are kind of all in the same sort of area. Kind of like interesting, not very replayable, but cool in general, I guess. 100 coins, Tiny Huge Island. This one's a bit meh. Again, it's not very difficult to explore this stage, and you can switch between big and small without losing coins, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think you can. Plus Tiny Huge Island, fun course to explore, just in general. High B tier. Maybe even low A tier. Tick-Tock Clock, fantastic stage, incredibly difficult. This one really does deserve its place at the end of the game. Roll into the cage. You don't have to explore the entire place. It's a nice little bite-sized part of the level. Still enough complexity to be difficult, but not marathon, you know? It's over before it outstays its welcome. A tier. Pit and the Pendulum. If I remember correctly, this one is a little after that last star. Let me load up into Tick-Tock Clock just to make sure I've got everything correct. Pit and the Pendulums. Let's go find where that is. You know, supposedly that's like the actual star's name. Like if it had to sign a document, it would have to write Pit and the Pendulums, which really doesn't make any sense. I think that must have been like some error in translation. That can't be how it is, right? Hi, it's me, Mr. Pit and the Pendulums. No, not real. Fake. I think I'm beginning to get a feel for where this is again. It has been a while since I 100%ed this game. Ooh, that was skill. Watch this. Oops, watch this. Dang it. I'm so good at this game. I suck. Oh my goodness, I'm making a fool of myself right now. Okay. See, this is why people hate Tick-Tock Clock. Yeah, I think this is the Pit and the Pendulum. I don't remember this being a moving piece. Although I guess most of the time I would just long jump from over here to over here. Yeah, I don't know. This one's kind of weird. It's got a lot of timing involved, and it's kind of cool because you get to jump between pendulums. It's kind of a cinematic sort of experience. Okay, so it's like kind of a cool vibe. It's a bit annoying, but it's basically the same difficulty as the last one. Low A tier though. Maybe that's because I just died a couple times. Get a Hand. This one is pretty cool. I'm just going next to Roll in the Cage. It's like you get to ride on the arms of a clock. Pretty cool. Just pretty cool. This one is like huge skill test. A very difficult path to get there. There's a couple interesting ways to get there. Replayability. A tier. It goes in A tier. Time jumps on moving bars. Basically the same flavor as all the others. Obstacle course, decent difficulty, more than roll into the cage, but not as much as stomp on the swamp. So here it goes. Stop time for 8 red coins. A tier. Wait, that's where everything else is. You know what? B tier. This one. This is a daunting task. 100 coins TikTok clock. If you're not really acquainted with this game's movement, this one will be like pulling teeth. You will have to go through the entire stage without falling once. Like, difficulty is fun. And this one, again, like I said, 100 coin stars aren't required. So I think I might controversially put this into S tier, just because of how big of how this might be the most difficult star in the entire game. So it deserves some notability. It's not, like, fun, though. So I feel like putting it lower. This is a predicament. It's staying in S tier. It deserves it. Okay, I can see the end. The sun is shining over the horizon. Cruiser crossing the rainbow. This one is just riding carpets, right? Yeah, it's kind of cool. You get to go in a boat in the sky. It's kind of neat. For some reason, the boats don't look as good as the Dire Dire Docks boat. I'm not sure why the sudden drop in quality. Maybe this was made earlier. I'm getting sidetracked. Is it interesting? It's not replayable at all. So I'm putting this here entirely based on the coolness factor. High B tier. This one low A tier because it's like pretty sick actually. Maybe high A tier. This one's actually pretty freaking good. It's going in A tier. Fun obstacle course. You get to explore a maze. Pretty cool. Swinging in the breeze. These ones are kind of like back to the bread and butter of Super Mario 64. Like little obstacle courses that are just neat to run through. Very satisfying. These two, I'm going to put in A tier. Somewhere over the rainbow. I think you just blast through rainbow hoops, which is pretty cool. It's like a pretty fun concept. But it's not very interesting. I'm going to put it with the other cannon stars. I'm just not a fan of cannon stars. Okay, it's going higher though, because it's a pretty cool aesthetic. This one. You really have to plan out your route before you even start taking carpets on this one. I like 100 coin stars when you can move around the stage pretty easily. When the main challenge is just exploring everything and not dying. But this one requires you to like think in advance of where you're going to go and plan all these routes. It's not fun. I think this one's going low D tier. Toads and Mips, these aren't really fun at all. They're kind of just lore dumps. I think I'm going to put these all in. I don't feel like rating these because they're not really part of the game. They're just like, oh, I picked up a rock and it happened to be a coin, or a star. Oh, yay me, you know? It's like reading a sign and learning how to do a triple jump. It's just progression. D tier, I guess. I don't think these deserve a D tier rating, mostly because they don't deserve a rating at all. And I'm going to put these MIPS ones in there for the same reason. They're not as annoying as people say they are if you just put enough time into them. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say. I don't know why I hit that inflection. This one, fantastic. I love slides. Great slide. Fun little sequence break, jumping off the slide. You've probably seen that before. I don't even need to show you. Same spot for the same. This one's kind of bad, but I don't hate it. I think I'm going to put this in the same spot as Plunder the Sunken Ship. I realize I've done that a million times, but it's here because aesthetic. I don't like this level. It's just kind of bad. Because it's basically really difficult to explore anywhere. I guess that's kind of a challenge. And there are some neat spots where you have to jump onto coins from flying, poles. I think I'm going to put this high B tier. This one's okay. It's actually kind of neat. It's a neat little mini challenge. Maybe I should just put it mid A tier. This one, meh. It's kind of like a little brainless mini game. Like you start and it's sort of like a pachinko with all the one-ups and stuff. You can definitely hear the tiredness in my voice. I don't know. It's not the best. I think I'm going to put it in C tier. this one's actually pretty cool. High B tier. And you don't, it's not so overly long or difficult that it makes being cool a hindrance. It gets out of the way before it's annoying. Again, another bread and butter level. This one can go with TikTok clock. All these can. They're basically just fun little obstacle courses. And there we go. I feel like my ranking quality sort of declined as I got further. But I'm pretty okay with all of these listings, all of these locations everything's in. I think that pretty much sums up everything. Thanks for watching. Like if you did. Don't like if you didn't. Peace.